Hi, this is an explanation for week 4. I'm in the week 4 activities and Dropbox. One of the activities you will complete this week is the social emotional learning survey. If you remember in class, I talked to you about that at the end of class. It's a survey that I am using for a research study, as I am some of the activities that we will be completing um, this semester under the social emotional learning topic. I am hoping that you will volunteer to be a part of my study. It is a study where it is completely anonymous. I'm only using your work. I am not using your name. There will not be any identification that you were a part of the study, but I do need some responses from teacher candidates, which you are as you're thinking about becoming a teacher and in a program to learn more about teaching, which is what this program is that we have in educational studies. The survey will be given at the beginning now, and then there'll be one at the very end, and we'll have some activities in between. And again, I'm hoping you'll volunteer to be part of the study, but you have a right not to be part of the study. You will still have to do the survey and the activities, but I won't use your responses whatsoever. But I hope you'll consider it for the sake of my research. Anyways, so here's the survey, and you can click on the survey by using the QR code. You can go to that way, or you can use the link that I provided here as well. You will need this document, which is a social, emotional, cultural anchor competencies framework. So you will need to look at that while you're completing the survey. So I would download that and bring that up on your screen as well. This week you're going to be reading chapters 5 and 6. 5 is Beyond the Ordinary, Teaching and Learning with Concrete Instructional Resources. That starts on page 144. And Chapter 6, Teaching and Learning with Representational Instructional Resources, page 181. So once you've read both of those chapters, and they're not, it seems like a lot to read 2 chapters, but most of the information in there I think you may already know for the most part. There's a few new things, of course. What I would like to do this week then is to create an artifact kit using Relia. Now, you will read about Relia in the textbook, and you're going to choose an elementary grade level. You're going to identify a social studies topic or a theme, and that may come right from your annual pacing schedule that you just finished during week 3. You could pick one of those topics, or you could come up with another topic. It can be a grade level that is higher than 8th grade. If you're thinking about teaching secondary level, you could find a secondary social studies topic. Either one's fine with me, elementary, middle school, high school, whatever works. And you're going to create an artifact kit. So you're going to collect some materials for an artifact kit. The Relia included in the kit can be tangible items and or primary resources. You will have to include photos and illustrations of those artifacts you find for this kit to post it on Blackboard here, but make sure you create a visually appealing display. Discuss how this kit might be used in a classroom museum. Be creative in how you would create the kit. Explain your kit. Post the creation of your kit through photos, illustrations, and explanation of the items in this Dropbox. And you'll find out more about that information, probably not the artifact kit as well, but about Relia and how you go about creating primary, how there are primary sources and secondary sources as well. And the last independent activity this week that you'll work on is to either design a learning center or a web quest. And both of these are also mentioned in the chapters. So you're going to select one of the following 2 choices, a learning center or a web quest. It does not matter to me. You're going to find information in this chapter for both of these instructional resources. You're going to select, again, a theme or a topic at a grade level of your own choosing. It may be the same theme that you used in your artifact kit, which is fine, or you can use another one. If you create a learning center, then create a visual plan of the layout or of the organization of your learning center. Plan at least 4 activities in your center, and one of those activities needs to involve technology. A web quest is an inquiry-oriented activity in which some of the information that learners work with comes from pre-selected resources on the internet. You'll find that information on page 186. Post your Learning Center or your web quest in this Dropbox. And those are your activities this week, your independent, individual activities. I'm going to take you to the other folder, which is your group work this week. This week's group work involves simulation. I'm just going to play this for you really quickly. Actually created the banner, but that's just for fun. But anyways, this week, the use of simulations in social studies classrooms is being widely recognized as an important instructional tool as it mimics the way of real life. So read pages 203 through 206 for more information about simulations. Prior to beginning work as a group, make sure you have read through the simulation below, as your group work this week will be based on this particular simulation right here. So if you download that and click on that, you can read through that. It's kind of a fun simulation. But if you are in group 1 and your names are here, you're going to write the portion of a lesson plan that introduces the students to the simulation that will assist elementary or middle school students to work through the simulation. Now, when I'm saying the introductory part of a lesson plan, you just don't actually have to use the educational studies template, but I want you to think about in detail how you're going to introduce this lesson. Will you get dressed up as one of the characters? Will you provide a video of the time period of this simulation? What kinds of things are you going to do to hook your students and get them excited? And how are you going to explain the simulation to your students? And that's all that goes into the introductory part of the lesson plan. You're going to talk about possibly norms. You're going to talk about what students are going to do. There's a variety of things you can do, so be very creative in that introduction. If you are in group 2 and your names are here, you're going to develop a series of questions to use in the debriefing of the simulation so that students reflect on the content, the skills, and the attitudes they use in the simulation, and can ask questions about the reality of their efforts. So you're going to create a series of questions. I would create more than 10 questions, and then I would have questions that are under the categories of content, skills, and attitudes. If you are in group 3, you're going to create a student self-assessment. Be sure to provide opportunities for the student to reflect on what she, he, or they have accomplished independently as a group member and overall as a group collectively. So you're going to think about writing reflection and that the student's going to respond to about what he, she, or they have done independently as a group member. And then how has the group worked collectively? You want to include strengths, make sure the student sees some strengths or identify strengths that he's shown or she has shown or they have shown. You involve some positive self-talk, maybe provide some goals that they're going to work on, because they're going to most likely be given this self-assessment in the middle of the simulation, so that they can see what they have been doing and reflect on what they've been doing and what they can be doing for the remainder of the simulation, and then give it again at the end so they can reflect on that again and on the whole project. And then you want to also offer, besides the strengths and positive self-talk, goals, some suggestions that the student might offer for him, her, or they for self-improvement. So you're going to create a self-assessment, a reflection based on that information that's provided there. If you are in group 4 and your name is here, you're going to create plans to showcase the simulation to a variety of audiences, including students from other classes, parents, administration, possibly the Board of Education. You want to confirm the continuation of projects such as these scenarios or this simulation like this one. You want to incorporate how or what you as a teacher and your students might do to publicize the work in the major project. You want to be sure to include media. Perhaps you're going to create a fake Facebook page to advertise this project. Maybe you're going to create a flyer or a brochure, or you're going to create something. It can even be technology-wise, like I said, Facebook, but it could be some other Web 2.0 tool or some way you're going to create to get the word out about this so people can see. Maybe you'll have photos of students working prior to the actual culmination of this simulation. It may be something you're going to create, like a little role play. Maybe you'll have students presenting the parts that they worked on or what it meant to them. Lots of a variety of different things you could do. Be creative in that, because you really want to sell all the people around you that the simulations are a great thing, and kids learn a lot from that. And if you're in group 5, last but not least, by any means at all, if your name's here, you're going to prepare an observational rubric for a teacher to use in assessing student participation in the simulation. Be sure to include the same categories as group 2, content, skills, and attitudes. And you might want to put something in about self-reflection. You think about what you might want to be observing as a teacher and want to share with students in regards how they're doing in your assessment of their work for this project. Each group should post their work collaboratively, so you're going to have one posting per group, and then you will then comment on the other groups. And I have here that you're going to comment on 3 out of the 5 groups. So you need to post by Wednesday your group collaborative project, or your end product, and then you'll have an opportunity to go back the remainder part of the week to comment or reply or discuss however you want to do that on 3 of the other groups, not your group, but 3 of the other groups. If you want to do more, you're welcome to do more. And if you do 4, I will probably give you extra credit. That's up to you. And that's the group work this week. And also the individual, independent work too. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Otherwise, I will see you. No, not this week. I will not see you this week. I'm going to see you online. We do not have class this week. I think our next class will be in October, October 7th. So that's just a reminder. It's not till then, so I won't see you this week, but I will see you online. Have a great week.